What's up, guys? We're on our dragon slaying video. I want to introduce you to a new client of mine who's going to be coming on a couple of these walks with me, Patrick McGinley. What's up? Patrick is probably going to be joining our 4.0 group. He is looking to lose a little bit of weight and get healthy. He's a local celebrity.
Yeah, just ask me, I'll tell you.
He's a lead singer and also drummer, an incredible artist. I've known him for probably 12 years 10, 12 years. I probably knew him before that because I worked at Treasure Bay and all the Noah's Rains and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was there too. I was just a younger looking kid back then. But so he has a band called Bonnaroo. Bangaroo. It's got a cool little story behind it. But so we're on a walk here, and he was telling me a little bit about his band, and he's got this mascot in his band name,
Joey. Yeah, he's a little kangaroo.
Yeah. And the kind of the premise of this logo, as far as this rabbit goes, this kangaroo goes, he's like, he kind of gets in his own way a little bit.
Yeah, he's got boxing gloves on, and he's always he can't do anything because he's got his hands full all the time. And the idea was that was his ego,
Cool.
Just made me think about my own lack of progress.
Patrick him and I were talking the other day, and I'm just going to mention this.
Yeah.
Patrick was talking to me the other day, and we're just in one of our interviews to get ready here, and he was talking about like not being able to complete tasks. And I evaluate that differently. Patrick can play how many different instruments?
Probably four different. Yeah,
that's a pretty big task. You've done things in life that a lot of people are like I find jealous of. Very jealous of your talent. And he's a singer. So, sometimes you evaluate yourself like you may be a failure, but in someone else's eyes you may not be. So you got to search for those things. Look for those things that you're good at and focus on those too. All right, but something happened to Patrick today that we want to talk about. He was on his walk this morning, his cardio, AM fasted cardio. What happened?
As I was driving along listening to the recommended listing that you gave me, all of a sudden I started hearing some noises that I wasn't quite sure what was happening. When I took it off, all I heard were sirens everywhere, and I was in my neighborhood in Midtown, and I looked up and an ambulance was coming straight down the street towards me and blew past me, and then cop cars and all kinds of cops were going, and I looked over at my neighbor who was sitting on his front porch, old guy smoking a cigarette, and he said, "I bet that ambulance was stolen. The gurney was hanging out the back." So long story short, and about 25 cop cars later, it turned out it had been stolen. And when I retraced the steps in my car, gurney was slung out all over the place, tire tracks through people's yards. It was a very eventful morning that I wouldn't have this story if you didn't make me get out every morning.
That's a huge part of like what we do, like getting out of your house, man. That's so good for your brain. We were talking about that yesterday. When you go out there and you see new things, and those new things create new neural pathways in your brain.
I met 3 neighbors.
It's such a, you never know what can happen. This is part of what happens when you get out the damn house and live life a little bit. So, but don't get run over by the ambulance.
Right. Don't be an ambulance chaser.
Don't. Watch out.
Or stealer.
Yeah. That's a good point too. Like always, have your headphones on, but not so loud where you can't hear your surroundings.
Yeah.
But Patrick had a question about Fitbit today.
Yeah, I went and I bought my Fitbit yesterday at Walmart, and I just wasn't sure if I had to, like any of the settings, if I had to set it for sleep.
Right.
I was excited to get it, so I threw it on and downloaded the app and everything, and didn't even read the instructions. So, kind of went through a couple of the
typical
steps.
guy thing, just put it on, went with it.
Yeah.
That's what I do too. All right. So the heads-up display in the app, it will show you your sleep habits, how well you sleep or how well you didn't sleep, and it'll show you your deep sleep, your light sleep, and how much you were kind of restless. So we'll go back and evaluate that. Part of that whole heads-up display. It's going to show your heart rate, your resting heart rate, your steps. It's going to give you an option for hydration, option for activity levels and how much you're active for the day, and then your steps. So it's a great tool. It's a great tool to be able to keep up with your activities. For me, even with the fitness level that I'm at and the knowledge I have, having a way to know what I'm doing and manage it and not guess at it is incredibly, hugely important. But the main things that the Fitbit does for you, it gives you an accurate caloric expenditure.
Okay.
So then you can look at how many calories you're actually spending a day.
Okay.
So that's a huge thing. So like, if you're taking in 2,500 calories, but you're only burning 1,800, you're in the overage.
Right.
So it means you're probably storing a little bit of fat or building muscle. So knowing these numbers are important. So you can actually and someone had a question in the group about this yesterday. Like, how do you figure out your calories? You buy a Fitbit.
Right.
Buy a Fitbit and then you can look on your calories burned. After about 7 days, it's going to give you an accurate calories burn scenario. You take that and divide that by 7, and that's going to give your average daily caloric burn. And then you can make a determination of what your goals are from there. If you want to put on muscle, you can go plus 200 calories. If you want to burn fat, you go minus 200 calories from that. So say if you look at your Fitbit and your calories, and this is 14,000 calories for the week. Divide that by 7.
Right.
So it'll come out to 2,000 calories a day. That means if you want to lose weight, you want to be at 1,800 calories. Bam.
Right. And if I leave it up to guesswork and not the Fitbit,
you never know. I mean, you could be. A lot of people think that they're at 1,800 calories. It might be at 12.
right.
That's incredibly bad for under eating. But also, as I found out, you go out to eat and you think that you're not eating that bad. Like I went and ate at what's the name of that? Raising Cane's. Had the Raising Cane's big ass chicken tender meal with a big ass fry, and I ordered an extra thing of bread. That was like almost 4,000 calories.
Holy cow.
And that's just one meal. So, making mistakes like that, that's double your calories so if you're at a 200 calorie deficit, you're looking at almost 2 weeks to be able to break even from that one meal. So that's how critically important it is to track this kind of stuff.
I was probably knocking a couple of those down every other day
Man,
or so,
If I was, I love to eat there every day.
Yeah.
It's so good. Their sauce. Just love it. All right, today is Fast Friday. Speaking of Fast Friday means you fast throughout the day. You fast until dinner, and you can eat whatever you want as long as it equals to or is 200 calories less than your caloric expenditures. That means that you look at your Fitbit burn, and if you're at 3,000 calories, that means that you can plan out your meal for 2,800 calories for that meal. So that means you can go on a date with your other half, your better half, lesser half, whatever you want to call it, or just take yourself out if you're single like me. Wah, wah.
I'll take you out.
Yes. Patrick's playing at where? Mezo's.
The juke joint.
Juke joint tonight. Nice to go. If you're in Ocean Springs, you're in our group close to over there, you can go see him. Great artist. All right. So that's dragon slaying for today. Use your Fitbit. Use the information on there. Let's get better. And we'll see you in a challenge. Have a good Fast Friday. Peace.